guys, so welcome back to Lex Reads. So in today's video, I wanted to talk about some fall recommendations. Monday the 22nd, we will officially be in fall, right? Thought it would be perfect to share with you guys some recommendations that you can read, during the fall time. Now, me personally, at one point I could read books all year round. Like I didn't have to wait until, summer to read. I didn't have to wait until, summer to just read a summer book. I could read it throughout the year. But now since I have really been, in my reading, I notice I'm a mood reader. Just some books, some things that I do have to read, like, during that time. Like I don't like to read Christmas books in July, or now like the books that I want to read during the summer. I'm gonna have to wait until next summer, Lord willing, to read those. I don't want to read them right now. So now I do get when people say, "Oh, this is a summer read. Oh, this is a spring read. Oh, this is a fall read." Now I really do get it. So yeah, guys, once again, I'm gonna give you some recommendations for this fall. Mostly Black authors. I got 5 of them for you. And yeah, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Okay, so the first book I have for you, it is called One Night in Georgia by Celeste Norfleet. Now, this book I thought it was perfect. First of all, it's set in August. 3 young kids, they are seniors in college. So, back to school, I always equate that with obviously fall. They are driving back to Spelman, I believe. And it's in the 60s. It is the year that Martin Luther King and Bobby Kennedy has passed. And these kids, and one of the girls that is driving, she comes from a, prominent family, and they have given her a car. And she got a real nice car, y'all. They're from New York City, and they're going to Atlanta. Every single time when a policeman sees that car, they stop them and ask, "Who is this car for? Why y'all driving this stolen car? Where y'all going?" And they're like, "This is my car. My parents bought it for me, and we're going back to school. It's our senior year of college." And they looking like, "Y'all in college? Y'all go to college?" Girl, it would just make you so frustrated. But there is a journey, when they are driving. Also, I learned through this book um the Motorist Green Book. It was basically a guide, and I have a copy of that book somewhere, y'all. But it was a guide for Black people, where to stop for like gas stations, hotel, restaurants, because clearly segregation. And if you didn't want to get got, you made sure you carried that book around. Book, it really does explore, how Black people during, the 50s and the 60s, how they actually had to travel in order to stay safe. Next is a series. It's a mystery book series. Now, for me, I learned that I like to read mysteries during the fall time, like October, because I equate mysteries with like Halloween. I don't do Halloween. I don't like nothing scary. I don't do horror. Please. But I can take a mystery book series. I really want to get into this because it's set during the Harlem Renaissance. Y'all know anything during the Harlem Renaissance is my ish, right? So this is a Harlem Renaissance mystery series, and the covers, you guys. I don't know which one I love better. This is by Nikisha Afi, and the first book is called Dead Dead Girls. The second book is called Harlem Sunset, and the third book is called A Lethal Lady. Now, the series is done. This author, I believe she's done doing this whole series because she just, I think, released a new book. I have a young girl named Louise Lloyd. This is what, in 1928, I believe. She lives in New York. She was a teen. She was kidnapped. And it was a group of girls that was kidnapped, and she saved her life and saved those girls. So she's known kind of like the local hero, a little bit. Louise liked to have fun. She liked to go out to the juke joints. She got a girlfriend. She is not conventional at all, right? And she's slick with the mouth. So one day she gets in trouble. She at the juke joint, she working, and um she gets in trouble and gets locked up, right? But the police officer's like, "There's been these girls that have been Black girls that have been, dying. They've been murdered, like in front of a club. We can release you, but you got to help us find who is doing this." And so that's what she does. But I'm gonna be honest with y'all. Louise will frustrate you because she has this way of having evidence and keeping it from, the detectives and the police. And it's like crucial information. And it's like, girl, why aren't you not giving this to them? That's one thing. The second thing is this book, you're going to find out who did it very quickly. Like within the first 20, 30 pages. And I'm a type of person where it takes a lot for me to get things. I don't have a sharp mind. But the fact that I was able to figure out through the whole three books who had done it, just be aware of that. It's not going to be no Law and Order type of mystery where it'd be the person that you don't suspect. Mm-mm. Overall, I would say I did like this series. I mean, the fact that I finished it, that tells you something. Okay, next is Little Women by Lisa May Alcott. Now, you actually could also read this. A lot of people like to read this during Christmas time. First chapter, you have the March sisters. It's during the Civil War. Their father is fighting, and it's the first time they've never had gifts for Christmas. The March family, they were once prominent, but then they lost a lot of money. Why I would say read this during the fall time is it just gives you that cozy vibe. You know what I mean? Recently read this actually in January because I wanted to start off with a classic this year, and this was well worth it. It was well worth it. I always grew up knowing about Little Women. I used to watch and love the 1994 version of the movie with Winona Ryder and Susan Sarandon and Kirsten Dunst. That's my favorite. Okay, I don't like all the other ones, and that new one is trash. But I had never read the book. And I have to say, they did a fantastic job with the 1994 version because you almost could not, you really don't have to read the book if you've seen that version of the movie. Like, they don't really take a lot out. You know what I mean? There's like some ins and outs, but but it still tells the whole story. Next is another mystery, and this is Not So Perfect Strangers by L.S. Stratton. I um I discovered L.S. Stratton last year through Kayla's Bookish Vibes, and so glad that I took her advice and read this. This was really, really good. I really did enjoy it. I'm going to be reading her newest book that came out this month in September. I'm going to be reading her new mystery book in October because, like I said, I like to read those, during Halloween. But if you're looking for a good mystery, also a mystery that it kind of keeps you on your toes, she's really good. Granted, I've only read one book of hers, so I am curious to see her latest book. There were so many twists and turns. This book also, you couldn't, I know when I read it, I couldn't figure out, the like who done it. And I liked every minute of it. It got that drama and that tea. And then I like stories where I don't know what this says about me, y'all, but I've been like this since I was a little kid. I like them like battered women stories. Jesus help me. Like back in the day, like Lifetime, they used to have some good ones, y'all. Oh, they used to have some good ones. One of my favorites, it was called the Donnie Yacklet story, which is a real life story, y'all. It's starting Jacqueline Smith. I'm so old school, y'all. Jacqueline Smith from Charlie's Angels. Girl, that movie was good. But the main character, Tasha, she, was kind of like a battered woman. Well, she was a battered woman because her husband was abusing her. But I kind of like stories like that. But Tasha and Madison, when they got together, oh, another thing I like about mysteries is, that that get got. You know what I mean? Like once you find out who is a person that did something off, that revenge, ooh, I love that revenge, y'all. Lastly, we're going with another classic. It is called The Street by Anne Petrie. You guys, this book, I would say you don't have to get your mind right. No. There are some sad bits. Why I would say read this during the fall time is this is a story where you don't want to stop reading. It's a story where you get in your favorite reading spot or you get on the sofa and you go curl up and read this book because you want to know what is going to happen. I did a reading vlog on this book. I'll put it down below. I had so much fun reading this book. Ludi, she is working for a white family and to make ends meet. That husband, oh, I couldn't take that husband. Just he don't do stuff right, and she ends up becoming a single mother. and she has to take care of her young son. They are struggling, you guys, like no money at all. Okay. Like she can't even save money. That's how bad it is, right? But she has to move to Harlem, and the neighborhood that she moves into, it's not good. It's not good for her. It's especially not good for her son. I mean, you see prostitutes, you see drug dealers, you see gamblers, you see all of that. But that's the only thing that she can afford. And oh, you just want, Ludi to win. I would say though, at the end, I was kind of conflicted because I always tell myself, you don't know what do you in her situation. Also, I'm a woman that does not have children. So a lot of times I kind of check myself to judge a person, to judge, a parent, because my thing is, you don't know what it's like to care for yourself and a child. You just taking care of yourself. You know what I mean? To kind of check myself again with her decisions of what she did. And Peacher, she was the first Black woman to sell over 1 million copies of this book. And you know what? I'm surprised that this book has not gotten an like adaptation for making history. You know what I mean? Because I would like to see this as a movie. I'm always leery though, because nowadays they sometimes just mess up movies and they add, stuff that don't need to be added, and they're over sexualizing and all that. And it's like, please don't, please don't. So I'm always leery, but I would like to see this probably as a series, like a limited series, not as a movie, because you can kind of have more space, I mean, with a limited series as opposed to a movie. That's a hour and 40 something minutes. Limited series, you can do 30-minute episodes or even an hour episode. This is a book where you want to curl up in the house and read because you want to know what's going to happen. So, yeah, guys, that is it when it comes to some recommendations to read during, fall time. Can you believe that this year is almost over? I notice when you get older, years just go by like that. But yeah, guys, that's all I have for you, and I'll be back with more Black books.